Your morning commute typically takes 25 minutes. If a 400 cubic foot dairy truck spills 2% milk on the freeway, causing you to take a detour and get stuck at a drawbridge for 20 minutes, how late will you be? Don't know? Well, good news, you don't have to, because Waze knows. With real-time traffic alerts from real Waze users, your ETA is always up to date. Waze. Download and drive today.
Buying a used truck can be full of unknowns. But at Penske, we know trucks. Our expert sales team can help you find the right used vehicle to meet your business needs. Plus, at Penske, buying is easy with financing, insurance, and warranty programs available. Leave the unknowns behind and buy with confidence. View Penske's entire inventory, current deals, manager specials, and used truck center locations at PenskeUsedTrucks.com.
What's going on? You are tuned into the Cigars with Mac podcast. I'm definitely grateful for everybody who is tuning into the podcast. But before we get started, let us hear a word from our sponsors, and I'll be right back. Are you looking for a fresh start to your day? Well, look no further than CowtownBeanExpress.com. CowtownBeanExpress.com is coffee right at your fingertips. If you're looking for a fresh start to your day, look no further. CowtownBeanExpress.com has quality products that are ethically produced and delicious, and I promise you'll love it when you shop there. It's fresh coffee delivered right at your fingertips. They have worldwide shipping, and they also have luxury coffee. As they say, it's heaven in a cup. So look no further than CowtownBeanExpress.com. That's CowtownBeanExpress.com. All right. I'm actually doing this podcast live. I posted a call-in number. So today, something that kind of ran across my mind, that ran across my mind that I think about occasionally, and I apply this methodology in my own personal life. You got to understand, topics that I talk about is things that I deal with personally, or have dealt with, or I have experience in dealing with them. I try to speak on things that I know about. Topic today is never let people treat you like a side piece. For those of you that are kind of not hip to slang, side piece, on the man side, a side piece is pretty much a woman he has on the side that his spouse doesn't know about, or significant other, whatever you want to call it. But basically, someone that they have relations with, not on the book, someone that they keep hidden, and it'd be vice versa for a woman also. Kind of like this. For those of you that are tuned into celebrity gossip, the Jada Pinkett August Alsina incident. He basically was a even though they say they were broken up, he was what, I don't want to say a side piece, but he kind of was hidden. No one knew about that, but then he outed them to the world, to the public. So that would be an example of a side piece. I try to make things simple. You ever, as a black man, I always think about slavery sometimes. And with slavery, the slave masters slept with the slaves. And that created a mulatto mixed race. Basically the children of the slave master, but they were kind of like hush-hush babies, the majority of them. And even though that was his slave that he slept with, that was actually more of a mistress or a side piece, And I think we as a people, not only black people, but we as human beings kind of get used to being sometimes treated like a side piece. I don't tolerate that shit. I don't tolerate side piece treatment. I suggest you not either. But side piece, yeah, that's something that just kind of ran across my mind this morning, Thinking about that, man, and man, it's sad that we allow that kind of treatment as people. And of course, I'm gonna give you a couple examples, some things that some people can relate to, But I just find it rather sad, man, that we are okay with getting treated like side pieces, man. That's not cool. It's not cool at all. It's not cool, man. Nobody should be okay with being treated like a side piece. Light me a cigar right now. Don't get used to that kind of treatment. Don't get used to being a person that people deal with behind closed doors. That's not okay treatment, people. You know how it is. You remember being back in school, and if you were like a popular kid, if you were seen talking to the unpopular kid, that wasn't cool. That's side piece treatment. And the sad thing is, I feel like we still have that type of behavior as adults. We still have that kind of behavior as grown folks, being treated like side pieces. We've rationalized that. And we've rationalized treating people like side pieces. Nah, I would never rationalize that. That's not okay in my book. And the reason why people treat you like that is people, you would think after the age of 18 on up, people will stop trying to fit in and go along to get along and go with what's popular. You would think that it's okay to do your own thing, but even as grown people, as adults, people still have a problem with that. People still, they don't want to be looked at as an outcast. They don't want to stick out like a sore thumb. After the age of 17, I stopped giving a fuck about what people thought. After the age of 17, after I obtained my GED, and started my adult life, I really stopped giving a fuck about what people thought about me. I stopped giving a fuck about what people thought. I just didn't care. I didn't care then. I don't care now. I stopped caring about what people had to say about my decisions in life. I stopped caring about what people thought about who I hung out with, who they deemed as cool or not cool, or a righteous or unrighteous person. I stopped caring about that, man. Because it didn't matter to me anymore. But you find people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s on up who give a shit about what people think. Pretty much all my life, I've been a person, looking back at it now, that didn't mind being different. I remember in school, I was always the cool cat. I wasn't necessarily popular, but I was a cool dude. I was a cool individual. People like hanging around me for the most part. I wasn't what you would call a lame or a nerd. I always thought I was kind of lame, because I didn't, for the most part, I didn't recognize it, but I didn't mind being an individual. But when I got to the age of 17, it sticks in my mind that I really stopped giving a fuck about what people thought. I made my own decisions. That's when I became a man, people. That's when I became a man, because I didn't give a shit about what people thought about me anymore. I could care less. You got to get to that point, man, where you just stop giving a shit about what people think. I get to that point, man. I'm telling you what I know. Don't allow people to hold you back. I know I think about in the workplace. Sometimes I see, higher up executives. And I've talked to some of them, man. They pretty cool, Then I've talked to some of them where they only want to talk to you when their colleagues are not around. And I don't deal with people like that. I just don't, man. I don't deal with people that, as long as they're not around, their colleagues, not necessarily they're superior, but they're equals as far as, he's a VP, she's a VP, they're all kind of in the same social class. They don't mind talking to you, but then when their subordinate pops up, they're like they don't know you, and I don't deal with people like that. I was the same way in the military, man. Rank really didn't mean shit to me because, in my opinion, you're a man first, you're a woman first. And I've kind of came across people who, when they get a little rank, they kind of change a little bit, and I immediately disassociate myself from people like that. One thing I don't do is I refuse to play the quote-unquote background dancer in some situations. It's okay to be a background dancer. It's okay to be the guy behind the scenes making moves if that's what you choose to be. But I'm talking about in everyday relationships, working relationships, personal relationships, family relationships. And it's a sad day that family treats you like that. And of course, I've had family members treat me like that, Behind the scenes, they big up at me, but in front of everybody, they can't even speak. Because, I've been deemed as a bad guy. And that's cool, but I don't operate like that. Never have and never will, because that's some bullshit. Straight up bullshit, man. So I want to get over the people that don't allow that kind of type of treatment. That's like, me being married to my wife, but, I don't want people to know she's my wife publicly on Facebook, but behind the scenes, me telling her I love her. I've met people who are married and they won't even put their fucking spouse on their Facebook. What kind of shit is that? Oh, it's possible to be married and treat your spouse like a side piece. On the man and woman side. Sure is. It is very much possible. It's kind of like if a man has a illegitimate child. I have 2 sons, and I cannot picture keeping them in the dark from the world. I'm ashamed of them for whatever reason. That's some crazy shit to me, man. That's crazy to me. That makes no sense to me. But it goes on every day. I'm not making this up. It goes on every day. People literally treat individuals in their lives like side pieces. People literally treat adults, friends, children like side pieces, man. People okay with that. You know, people don't say anything about that. I know I'm the kind of person, man. I'm all about building bridges, but I'm also about getting rid of bullshit out of my life. I have enough problems already. I don't need to add on to them. I have no problem deleting people out of my phone, blocking people. I have no problem doing that. It doesn't bother me. I sleep well at night. It doesn't bother me one way or another. I give a damn, man. If I feel like you're the kind of person in my life who does not value me as I value you, then what are we doing, you know? What are we doing? I do not treat people like side pieces, and I don't expect that to be reciprocated. Straight up. I'm not gonna allow it. Stop caring about whether people are going to accept you. I mean, it just amazes me, like I stated earlier, that you have people who are in their 40s, 50s, 30s, 60s, 70s on up who give a shit about what people think. That's crazy. It makes no sense. Makes no sense to me, man. I don't jive with that, man. I don't find side piece treatment okay in my book. I've always been the kind of person that stood up for what I believed in, even when it cost me opportunities in life. You know? I've done it and will continue to do it. Of course, now I do things a lot differently that I'm older. You know, I pick my battles a little better. But people know one thing about me who are friends with me, and I don't really use that word very lightly. Friendship. People know, you know, if you for what's right, I'm gonna have your back. Point blank, period. That's how I've always been, man. Especially when I turned 17, man. I had no problem, you know, if I agree with someone, letting them know, hey man, I'm with you on this. And if I disagree with you, I have no problem stating that either, you know. I believe everyone is allowed to be who they are. As long as it's causing no harm to me or others around me, or, you know, as long as it's not evil, people should do what they want to do. I don't give a shit. You know? But you literally have people in this world who are still trying to fit in. It's crazy to me. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't quite get that. I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me, man. I just never understood that, man. And fuck it. I'll open my eyes at 17, but at least after high school, some people should have grown up by now. Nope. Some people are still childish as fuck. Some people are still, you know, trying to be in the clique. that. Don't get me wrong, I truly believe no man is an island, but at the same token, you got to have some dignity about yourself. You got to have some pride in yourself. You got to have your own identity, people. You must have your own identity. At a certain point, it's kind of like, if you support a certain product, and other people don't support it, so you won't say that you support it because you're afraid of what they think, or religion, Who cares what people think, man? I have Christian friends on my Facebook, and I have Christian friends in real life. I have Muslim friends on my Facebook. I have Islamic friends in real life, I don't give a shit what people believe, man. But you have some people that if you don't believe in their belief, it's a problem. But again, some people will never grow up. I've discovered that. I have discovered that, man. I've discovered that people in so many ways are still trying to fit in. Yeah. People are still trying to fit in. And that's sad, man. I mean, I'm all about, change and reinventing yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But you still trying to fit in? That's a problem, man. That is a serious problem. There's just certain things that in life that, man, you gotta grow up, man. You gotta be okay with standing alone sometimes. You gotta be okay with that. Some of y'all didn't know how alone you were until COVID-19 happened. Some of y'all so used to always going over people's house and kicking it with people and people coming over your house and couples dates and all that bullshit. But now with social distancing, you're not able to do that like you want to anymore. I understand. I definitely understand. Me personally, since COVID-19, I've started learning new hobbies. For instance, podcasting. It's something I really enjoy doing. I take it serious, and I aim to put out quality content that will provoke thought. Plain and simple. I'm really not trying to be controversial. I really don't give a shit about controversy. But at the end of the day, I want you to gain something from what I'm saying. I want you to gain something. I want you to get some wisdom. Or at least something to think about. Something to think about. Something to have on your mind. Something to even just start a conversation. mean, how many people just sit back and converse? How many people sit back and just have a conversation, man? Not an argument, but a conversation. People still do that nowadays. Man. People even still have conversations nowadays. You got people always talking about other people, always discussing other people's business. Who gives a fuck? It's kind of like with my podcast, you know. I have the ability to have people on, and I have the ability to do a show by myself. It doesn't matter. As a man, I learned how to stand on my own at 17 years old, people. Straight up. And I enjoy having guests on, but the same token, the podcast is called the Cigars with Mac podcast. You know, which means that, you know, I have things that I discuss. I don't have to have a team of people around me all the time. It's just, that's never been me. I can remember being in school, and I'm pretty sure I've spoken about this in a previous podcast, but I would see a fight and I see everybody running one way. I would actually go the opposite way. It was just common sense to me. Don't always follow the crowd. And I could also remember even elementary and middle school, you know, I was the kind of person, I never minded hanging around the quote unquote, I don't want to say weird kid, I would say unpopular kid that people are like, you know, don't hang around him. Because I was the kind of person, I believe you should judge people for yourself. Judge people for yourself. Never judge anyone off of someone else's opinion. You judge them off of your opinion. One of the big things people say nowadays is, don't judge me, no judgment. Well, you're going to judge. That's just human nature. If I go to, you know, McDonald's and I want the Big Mac over the McFish, that's judging. Come on, man. I mean, we all judge. But I judge people off of my opinion. That's just me, though. That's how I've always been, man. I judge people off of my opinion, off of my relationship, not with someone else's. That's a practice.
All the last-minute gifts are on sale at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. Get 60% off almost everything. Shop new doorbusters, including gifts from $7, socks from $2, tees from $8, and more. Find it all at Gap Factory or GapFactory.com through December 24th. Cozy up for the holidays with 60% off everything at Banana Republic Factory, including soft sweaters, comfy pajamas, must-have gifts, and more from $9.99. Find your nearest store now, only at Banana Republic Factory.
Recruiters, reduce your cost per candidate by about 50% with CareerBuilder. We connect you to qualified, diverse candidates at every stage of the hiring funnel. CareerBuilder Talent Acquisition Suite. Software packed with talent. Visit hiring.careerbuilder.com/recruit.
I just believe in that, man. I don't believe in, you know, fucking with people off of someone else's opinion. No, I deal with you off of my opinion. And it's worked quite well for me. It's worked quite well for me. Worked quite well for me. I believe in that mantra wholeheartedly. I believe wholeheartedly, and you develop your own opinions. Never let your opinion be based off of someone else's. Do your own research, you know? Again, it's worked quite well for me. Like I said, sometimes being one who goes against the grain has hurt me in some situations, but you know what? I can go to sleep every day like a man. I can wake up like a man. I can look at myself in the mirror, man. Do you know there are some people that they've made such fucked up decisions that they can't even look at themselves in the mirror? Did you know that? Crazy, man. There are some people in this world who have done such and lived such a way that they're not really proud of, and they can't even look themselves in the mirror. I believe that's why a lot of people do drugs, to cope with their life choices. They got to cope with that, man. They got to live with that. They're not okay with that. They're not okay with their life choices. I always say, if what you're doing you have to be ashamed of, you shouldn't be doing it. And that aligns with not allowing people to treat you like a side piece. I'm telling you, man. You got people right now, the very reason why they're depressed and angry is because they are not happy with themselves. They're not happy with the person they've become. They've spent their lives trying to please family, their parents, mom, dad, trying to please their employers. They're not happy with themselves, man. They can't look at themselves in a mirror. And that's a sad place to be in, if you ask me. Like I said, if what you do or what you're doing, you have to do secretively, you shouldn't be doing it. You just shouldn't be doing it, people. Should not be doing it. I noticed that, for instance, if you ever noticed, like as far as in the public arena, the way certain politicians, if they say controversial things, for instance, when Barack Obama was running for office, his pastor was Reverend Jeremiah Wright, who was a very controversial man. Excuse me. And anyway, Barack had to denounce Jeremiah Wright, people. He had to do it publicly. That's fucked up. You had to denounce your pastor. I mean, I think he would have won office anyway, but the fact that he had to denounce his spiritual advisor or spiritual leader just to, run for office. You'll notice that a lot of times that in the public sphere, if you make controversial statements and fast forward, people find out about it, you have to denounce what you said. You have to denounce the people you were associated with. That's crazy to me, man. When common sense should tell anybody the way you thought 5 years ago, you're not going to think that way present day. I mean, you just not. That's just common sense, I remember when both my boys were, toddlers, they both like Mickey Mouse. Now that they're older, 1 is 7, 1 is 10, the 7-year-old likes dinosaurs. He's like dinosaur obsessed. He loves dinosaurs, And if you really want to know how human beings are, watch children. The way a child thinks through their developmental stages, it changes. That's just normal. You're going to think different. Why should you have to denounce your certain way of thinking? That's not cool to me. It's not cool, man. But people have to do it. They gotta do it. Gotta denounce who they were, what they believed in, what organization they were affiliated with. That's just, for some reason, that's some crazy ass shit to me, man. Also, I want to mention to please share this podcast and all my other podcasts on whatever podcast platform you use. Share it, rate it, subscribe to it. Don't treat me like I'm a side piece. Share the content. Don't be ashamed of me. Share me. But yeah, I want to be so transparent with everybody right now. I want to be so transparent. I want to let everybody know that anybody who shares my podcast, I've gotten feedback. Man, I am so grateful for people that listen to it, man. It just makes me feel good. Because I can see when people download my podcast in my back office. And man, that just makes me feel so good that people actually take time out of their day to listen to what I'm saying, That's why I try not to be spewing bullshit. I try to have good, fruitful conversation, That's why right now I got the call in so you can weigh in if you decide to. If not, it's no big deal. I'm pretty sure people are at work right now, so I just know that I got to get out of the habit of posting shows that I'm going to do and then not doing it. That's a bad habit, so I posted the show, ate breakfast, and then Came to the office, man. Came to the lab and doing the show live right now, man. Try my best to be a man of my word. Do I fail? Yes. I'm human. But I just want people to understand, to not accept side piece treatment. Don't accept that, man. It's not cool. You got people who date interracially and they're ashamed to let the world know that their spouse is another race. That's crazy to me, man. I've seen it with my own two eyes, man. Don't be ashamed of your spouse, man. Don't do that. If you date interracially, that's you. You got people ashamed that they work at McDonald's or fast food, or they do janitorial work. I've done janitorial work. I don't give a fuck what people think about me. So what if I've done it? Give a shit. Who cares what people think, man? Do you? You got people who are ashamed to say they have a GED. I saw on Instagram, it was a young lady. She posted that she received her GED. She's almost 30 years old. So hey, I'm proud of her. I got my GED at 17. A lot of people don't even know I even have a GED. It's not something that I go around just. It's not really a conversation starter, but I do let people know that. You know, I'm a high school dropout. Not ashamed of that. Stop being embarrassed all of that goddamn time, man. Don't be ashamed, man. Be you. Do not be ashamed of who you are and what you believe, man. Don't do that. You know? I just find it kind of problematic, man. This side piece treatment, man. Because, you know, the side piece culture has been glorified in today's society. You know, there was a time where side piece culture was very hidden. It's always been kind of prevalent in Black America. You know, you got the pastor fooling around with this lady, or man in some cases, but this lady, you know, and it's hush hush. But the pastor got a couple of babies in their congregation that he don't publicly claim, but people know. Or even that father who's married to that woman for 20 plus years, and his child, his illegitimate child, is kind of treated like an outsider, when it really wasn't that child's fault that they there. Their conception was due to, you know, side piece behavior. I just find it very problematic, man. I find it very problematic, man. You know? But I equate that particular saying to life. Because I've seen people get side piece treatment. I have gotten that treatment, but the difference between me and them is I just don't even allow it. Some of y'all need to go on y'all phone contact list right now and just start deleting people who you really don't fuck with no more. Some of y'all need to ask the universe to put the right people in your life. Some of y'all have the wrong people in your life right now. Some people in your life for a season. Some people in your life for a reason. Remember that. Some people are in your life for a season. Some people are in your life for a reason. Remember that. And I've learned to accept that. I've learned to accept the fact that there's going to be some people who, I'm going to fuck with just for a certain time period. And then there are some people in my life who are there for a reason. And I'm okay with that. I can live with that. The best thing you can do, man, is consistently work on yourself. That's all you can do, man. Consistently work on yourself, man. Know that you don't have it all together. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. It's okay to say, man, I don't have it all together. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to know that you don't know. Nothing wrong with that. It's okay to know that you don't know what tomorrow brings. Nobody does. And it's okay to be okay with that. That's something I learned a long time ago, man. Everybody is just not gonna fuck with you. You're just not everybody's cup of tea. But it doesn't negate the fact that you should be okay with side piece treatment. I'm gonna keep harping on that because that's very important. It's very important to understand that shitty behavior from people will not be allowed. I mean, I've literally blocked so many people. I've blocked people, deleted people that I've known for a decade, man. They started that side piece shit. One thing you should always look for from people in relationships is consistency. Yes, we all do have bad days. I get that. But inconsistent behavior should not be tolerated by any means. I remember a good friend of mine, he's passed away since. He was an older guy. His name was Brother Keith. This is one of the people I can say who was actually a friend, man. I mean, I think about this brother every day, man. Brother Keith was a great man, not a good man, but a great man. And he used to always tell me, consistency in behavior is the key. And I live by that now. People show me inconsistent behavior, that's already a red flag, man. Trying to get rid of them. Time to get rid of them. Time to get rid of them. This portion of the podcast this is to women and men. Some of this, of course, is satire. But there's some truth to this. It's coming from the EliteDaily.com. Again, the EliteDaily.com. It's titled 25 Signs He's Treating You Like His Side Piece. This article is by Candace Jalili. So, of course, it's written by a woman, so there's going to be some more preferential statements because it's a woman. I'm going to read this article to you. Says you and this guy have been hooking up for weeks, months, heck, maybe it's been years at this point. Despite your best efforts, you've caught feelings for him even though your friends have warned you that he's bad news. Even his friends have warned you. He's never been able to give you exactly what you deserve, but you keep telling yourself that maybe one day things will change. You know you deserve better, yet you still keep looking for signs to prove that no, you're not just his side chick. You're not the lady he keeps waiting in the wings while he's out with other girls, with his guy friends, or doing anything else besides spending time with you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but odds are if you're worried about being the side piece, then you probably are the side piece. Read through these 25 signs and stop wondering. Confirm once and for all what's going on and move on to bigger and better. Number 1, you only talk on the weekends. Number 2, most of your interactions are drunk. Number 3, you've never been on a real date. Number 4, you don't really have any inside jokes. Number 5, Snapchat is your main means of communication. And yet he's still not your Snapchat best friend. That's number 6. Number 7, you have no mutual friends. Number 8, he makes no effort to meet your friends. Number 9, if you even propose the idea of him meeting your family, he'd lose his mind. Number 10, he tells you nothing about his personal life. He could have been raised by the wolves for all you know. Number 11, the only reason he hangs out with you is to have sex. Number 12, he spends all his time on his phone when he's with you. Number 13, he's made out with several of your friends. Damn. Number 14, he's been in lots of relationships, but he's never once asked you out properly. Number 15, he tells you that now is his time to be single. Number 16, you only hang out on his terms. Number 17, and usually that results in only meeting at midnight. Damn. Number 18, he mentions you so rarely, even his roommates can't remember your name. Number 19, he's super shady and secretive with his phone and laptop. Number 20, he doesn't remember anything you ever tell him. Number 21, he tells you small tidbits about his life, but you can tell he's holding back. Number 21, if you ever try to tag him in a picture, he immediately removes it. Number 23, any meaningful conversation you've ever had has been while you guys were hammered. Damn. Number 24, if you ever ask a mutual friend about him, they always go on about him and his ex. And finally, number 25, you always wonder where you stand with him. Now that one is very important right there. This goes back to relationships outside of monogamy. If you gotta wonder where you stand with people, typically that is, more often than not, that is side piece treatment. That's side piece treatment, people. If you gotta wonder where you stand with people, if you gotta wonder, are we beefing now? Are we on good terms? That is side piece treatment. I refuse to deal with people like that. It's kind of like applying for a job. When I apply for a job or go on interviews, I know when I have the job. I don't want to wonder, do I have it? I want to know that I have it. And that's the same way you should be in your everyday relationships. You should know whether you or that person are friends or not. You gotta wonder, man, are we cool now? Did I say something that offends them? Did I say something that'll make them mad? Will they still talk to me? If you gotta worry about all that, then you are getting side piece treatment. You are getting, or you're receiving, side piece treatment. And that's crazy to me, man. That's what really sparked me to do this podcast today. And that's the thing I like about podcasting, is that it's very unorthodox, at least my style. It's very, I actually have topics written down, but sometimes when things come across my mind, I gotta talk about it. And the topics that I speak about, again, are life experiences. It's things that I've experienced, it's situations I've been in, and it's things that I have, it's things that I've established in my life that I live by. And I'm not telling you have to live by them, but it's sort of a measuring stick you can use in your own life. You know? gotta wonder where you stand with people. Chances are you're not in good standing with them. And my mantra pretty much, I don't, phone call coming in, sorry about that. I don't fuck with people that don't fuck with me. I do not fuck and deal with people who don't fuck and deal with me. That's just me though. It's me. It works for me. These are the things I live by. These are the things I live by. They help me, You gotta be like that, man. You gotta let people know where you stand, straight up. But anyway, people, I'm gonna end this podcast. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Cigars with Mac podcast. Everybody have a good one. And again, like I said before, like, comment, share, subscribe to my podcast on whatever podcast platform. And remember, don't accept side piece treatment, people. Have a good one.
Amazing specials now while supplies last at Macy's Gifts You'll Love to Give sale. Like great deals on coats for him and her from Calvin Klein, Anne Klein, and more top designers. Just $100 and under. Save big on handbags and wallets, now 40% off. And create a cozy retreat at home with 70% off warm throws and flannel bedding from Martha Stewart Collection. Now through Thursday at Macy's. Plus, get $10 in Macy's money for every $50 spent. Up to $40 Macy's money.
Jersey City Medical Center is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with the county's only cardiac surgery program, performing the most orthopedic procedures, all private rooms in our Lord Abbott Maternity Wing, and the only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center in the state in partnership with Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. Visit rwjbh.org/Hudson County. Jersey City Medical Center and RWJ Barnabas Health Facility.